How have you used digital technology in your advanced production?
I've used digital technology.
Starting with the short film.
I've used it in my short film because we had to do research and we had to use like the internet and YouTube and like BBC Film, Channel 4, and it was like good. It was good, helpful websites which we could do research on. So internet has like been widely available to do all of this, and it's been much more easy instead of going to the library and stuff. But then and then we could go onto the Film Council website and find a lot of information about short films when we were doing our research. But like the disadvantage was that there would be a threat of copying and pasting and plagiarism, just in case, and also a really big advantage would be that we could like distribute it everywhere and easily, and also like another disadvantage would be that we would get disturbed if like going onto like Facebook and social networking sites. But then we used the PowerPoint, and there was like film clips and stuff on them. We could put it on YouTube, link it.
What was the strengths of using a PowerPoint?
The strengths of using a PowerPoint was that we could put images, and I learned how to make it less text based and put more images in it and stuff, and make it more interesting by like highlighting the key main points. And then
what about planning?
Planning was like we used our blog, and we just like scanned in our planning stuff, so we could easily use a scanner. That's another technology which makes it easier to scan handwritten stuff, so we don't have to write it all up again. And then filming, we use like video cameras, like digital video cameras, and they were small, portable, and easy and flexible to carry around. But the sound quality was a bit poor because they weren't really made to have microphones, so it was a bit difficult to get the sound on properly. But we had a bit of luck with our video camera because our lighting was quite good because of the really good weather. And then the next day it was quite hard to get a balance, because one day it was really stormy and one day it was just like good weather like this, so it was difficult. That was difficult. And then
editing,
our post-production work with the editing and stuff, I used like an Apple Mac to do all the editing, and it was easy and flexible.
How was the Apple Mac different from a normal computer?
Like we were able to do more things. We were able to experiment with loads of different fonts and like do like loads. We could undo something and then quickly undo it. Like we could just play around with everything, and it was really easy and user friendly. Like if you have some basic knowledge of computers, then it's much more easier to actually do your work with it. Like it's easy to get the hang of it. But then with iMovie there was a bit limited, because we had to iMovie was like it was limited special effects and stuff, that they weren't that many titles and fonts. And GarageBand we had to do like the sound and stuff. It was a bit difficult to use, but it was quite easy in the end, but it helped us make the sound for our movie.
What about the film poster?
Distribution. The distribution was quite easy because we could put it on a disc and like burn it, and it's quite good because you can put it on YouTube and send it to like all your friends and stuff, so it's an easy way to distribute your product. It was also less prone to like any damage or anything. And then we had the film poster, and we used digital cameras, and we imported the pictures onto the desktop.
How did you do research and planning? How did you do research for your film poster?
We used the internet again to look at existing posters. I googled some images and stuff of some film posters.
How did you generate this material? Like, did you create it in Photoshop?
I did it in Photoshop. Yeah, I did it in Photoshop, and I took
Did you take photos?
Yeah, I took photos with a digital camera, and then I imported it onto the desktop and then onto Photoshop and did it.
Did you use any screenshots?
No, I didn't use any screenshots, but I did like, it was really good in Photoshop. It was really easy to use once you got the hang of it, so I enjoyed it a lot because I found it quite easy.
Was there any weaknesses of Photoshop?
Weaknesses of Photoshop is hard to get the hang of it, but you need to get used to it. Like, it took me about 4 years to get used to Photoshop, so I'm alright with it now.
What about strengths of Photoshop?
Photoshop is quite easy to use. Like the tools, the toolbar is quite convenient because we didn't have to do, I think, editing as well. Like, it's quite difficult for us to find certain features that will help us do it more quickly.
Can you give any examples of
like
any editing
the rubber
tools you use?
the rubber that we used, we didn't know how to make it bigger, so we had to use a small one for a long time, and then we realised we had to make it bigger. Well, me and my peer Tanya.
My colleague.
Yeah.
Distribution for your film poster.
Film poster, we could easily put it onto the internet. We could load it onto social networking sites again and show people. That's it really, and we could print it out.
What about blogging?
Blogging, I used it for my planning and research again, and it was easy to like show evidence of how I created my short film and my film poster.
And the film review?
My film review again, I was much better on Photoshop, so it was easy for me to do it. It was very easy. It was just mainly the design of the film review that we had to do.
Did you create your film review on Photoshop or Word?
On Photoshop and Word. I did the typing of the review on Word, and then I converted it to Photoshop.
Did you find you was much better at the film review because of the practice?
Yeah, definitely.
Summing up, how would you sum up your skills development?
I think I've really developed my skills in, like, especially iMac, because iMovie, sorry. I think I've really developed it because I'm really comfortable with editing, and I know how to do sound now. And I also I know how to do sound, editing, basically everything, and not everything, but like most things that we did in our film. And for my film poster and my film review, I know how to use Photoshop to a good level. Like, I'm quite comfortable with it if I was given a project now. So I think my skills have really developed with technology.
How important was the technology to the standard of your work?
I think it was really important, because without it, then it would be really unprofessional and it might look a bit amateur. It gives it that professional look.
Did it enable you to be creative?
Yeah, it did. It did, kind of, yeah. I think because we had a really strong idea, it just made our idea look more better. Like, if we had a rubbish idea from the beginning, then it wouldn't be as good. All of our products that we created wouldn't be as good as they are now.
But so, do you think the use of technology might raise, in terms of issues, issues such as copyright, regulation?
Yeah, if we were to send our film off, then maybe copyright, it would do copyright, maybe.
Thank you.